Hey guys, I'm your host Jainab Durakia. Welcome to Round the Clock, an amazing initiative by Reborn India Film that brings the best of Indie cinema to your screens all year long. Today we have the cast and crew of an amazing film called Courage, which tells the story of abuse, love, devotion, and everything in between. It is being screened as a part of Round the Clock in London at Garden Cinema. I'm honored to be hosting this session with Ankur, who is the director of the film, Sanskruti and Apurva, who are among the leading cast members, Sushant, who's the producer, Bhavesh, who's the DOP, and our festival director, Rahul Agarwal. I'm excited to dive deep into the conversation about the making of this film. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. So, Ankurji, your film is being screened in London as a part of Round the Clock. How do you feel about it?
It's a great feeling, yeah. I mean, you make a film, you always wish that it goes around the world. The varied spectrum of audiences watch your film. They appreciate your film if you have made a good film, and they talk about it. They let others know about it because it's a beautiful story which needed to be told, which we have tried to tell it the way we wanted to, and we are quite there. So it's a beautiful feeling that, and again. The film being screened in London is it's very, I mean, it's a great feeling. Yeah, how do I put it into words now? Because uh, लंदन का वीजा भी कभी पासपोर्ट पे लगेगा ये सोचा नहीं था. खुद का पिक्चर अभी वहां पे जाके स्क्रीन हो रहा है तो इट्स अ ग्रेट फीलिंग या इट्स अमेजिंग.
So, what first drew you to the, what drew you to the Rani story?
The first thing which drew me to the Rani story was Sushant. Then the story came into my life, and after you have that story in your hand, you start you start getting to know each other. It's like getting to know a person. First, it's an introduction. Then you become acquaintances. You spend time together, and then you become friends. And probably after a period of time, after an association, after a time amount of time spent, that becomes an integral part of your life. And it's happened with courage the way I'm saying it became integral part of my life because uh, it was it was a story par excellence. I mean, I uh, when I speak about courage, I always fall short of words because it is so magnanimous for me. The entire feeling, the entire journey of the characters, it's beautiful. So the first thing which drew me to courage was, of course, Sushant, and then this beautiful story and the kind of life these characters have really lived. You know, we we don't find such kind of love probably present anymore, other than Sayara, probably. Oh, no, I'm being sarcastic. I mean, don't take everything seriously what I'm saying. So yeah, but uh, the kind of bonding, the kind of love is probably a part of what we are trying to gauge with this story. But the passion towards each other, it just hooked me. The passion uh, for of someone to make someone live, love selflessly. I'm quoting selflessly because we hardly find selfless love. It is probably, I won't say vanished, but it has diminished over a period of time. So yeah, it was a beautiful story, the journey of characters, and uh, all the pieces started falling right. The crew came together, the cast came together, and like it was everyone's passion, uh, each and everyone's passion in the team, which actually uh, took this story to what it is today. So yeah, man. I mean,
Sanskruti. Rani is a very layered character. We can see it throughout her journey. So, how did you first connect with her emotionally?
Um, the beautiful part about Rani, I think she's one of probably the only humane, the most humane character that I've come across. And not to mention character per se, because we've actually met the original Rani. We've spent a lot of time together. And she taught me a perspective probably I needed in my life as an individual, which was way more important. And it was not even about mimicking what she was, it was just understanding the way she functioned as a person. And if you ask me individually, the traits and the assets or the faith that she has in these little things of the world, and that we, sort of turn a very ignorant eye towards sometimes. I am a person who believes in that. I am a very dreamy person. I believe in surreal things. I believe in surreal love and all of that. I still dream of having a knight in the shining armor. I don't know if that's going to happen ever, but still, I do dream in that. I have faith in it. And talking with her, having spent time with her, she was extremely warm. She's an extremely inspirational person, I'd like to mention here, and she's such full of life. So we just had to mimic the emotions first. It was not actually having to imitate Rani as a whole, or Rajrani Sharma, let's say that. But regardless of it, we had, practically speaking, we did a lot of sessions together. The director, the cast, and the crew, all of them, we had ample of sessions. We had a lot of sittings together, and it was not just the cast. Actually, there were a lot of technicians involved in the process. We understood the process beforehand. Before even going on floor, we were quite clear of what we wanted to achieve and what we wanted to portray. So it was, I'd like to say, like, it more than the story being a true story, which it is, but it was about actually nailing the emotions that, Ankur rightly said, are which we are losing out on in an age that we are living in. So it was quite tough. I'm going to be honest. It wasn't easy. But the director, the producers, the writers, the cast, absolutely the cast, they made it a lot easier to slip into the character. Um, it becomes a very different situation when all your cast and crew, they don't just make cinema just for the sake of making a cinema. It's a different ball game when people come together and treat the project very passionately. So it's about putting out something which will be meaningful in probably coming years. That really makes a difference, and that was the success of, I think, what Courage is right now. People were on the same page when we were shooting the film, when we were on the process. It still is a very this film holds a very emotional place in everybody's life. I mean, I'd speak for everybody, actually, because bawled our eyes out every time we've shot the film, we've talked about it, we watched it again. So this feels surreal, but sometimes I think you just have to let go as an actor as well. When you're on set, you just have to trust your director completely. You have to trust your homework and just let go sometimes. You can't hold on to your previous homework or the previous acting jobs that you've had with you. You really can't hold on to that. Sometimes it's not necessary they're going to help every time. Like, every job, I think, is a new beginning, and this film in itself, as an individual, as a film, has been an eye opener, and it really changed me as an actress. Thanks to Angur, thanks to the entire cast, this brilliant cast that we have in the film. It couldn't have been possible without them. I don't think it's possible without them. So all my credit is to Rajrani ma'am in the first place, because I absolutely love her and I really want to become like her when I become that age. And the director and the cast. It was a very meaningful and an incredible journey. We worked really hard, and sometimes I think things just happen. They just happen.
So, Ankur, my next question is to
Yeah.
you. Means, as a director, means they had played all various kinds of character. For putting them in this character, to all your actors, what was your input? Mean, how did you train them? What you specifically want from each character?
So see, basically, everyone has had done a lot of work before doing Courage, including me, including Bhavesh, Sanskruti, Apurva, Sushant, Tanvi, everyone. Uh, the effort, if you call it per se, there was no effort to put these actors into those characters, because these characters are very human. They are not caricatures. They are not characters. They are people who were or are living still, who are there on this face of the earth. The challenge certainly was with the kind of period we were dealing with. We were dealing with the Bombay of 1980s and the US of 1990s. So, bringing that culture, bringing that entire mise en scène of a certain character into these actors was not a challenge, was but was a process. I mean, we spent a lot of time on each character's journey. We spent a lot of time on the character arcs. We spent a lot of time on the way a certain character is going to react to a certain action which is happening, or a situation, or a character to character intrapersonal reactions which we worked on. Me and Sanskruti almost sat for 22 days on a session, and we spent 8 hours a day. And we were not doing workshops. We were not doing acting classes. We were not doing the quote unquote conventional working on a character, but we were talking. We were talking about Rani. We were talking to Rajrani Sharma. We were talking about her. We were trying to exactly get injected and imbibe her into us. Uh, See, if you watch the film, the kind of journey she has is surreal. I mean, if tomorrow I put a question here that are you willing to give your kidney to your wife or a husband, I know what the answers are going to pop out. You know, so it was surreal. See, uh, putting an actor into a fictional character is much easier than putting a character into a living being's character. I mean, into a living being who's there, who's going to meet, who's going to see that actor performing her or him on screen. No, it's like is this actor going to show me the mirror, or is this character going to is this actor going to handhold me and go ahead? Yeah. So these are there's are two different things. I mean, there's a very thin line to this. But as a director, this process was, I mean, it was not hard. It was fun, but it was challenging. It certainly was challenging, because before I could, I could put my thoughts into these actors. I had to be very, very sure about what and how is are these characters going to feel, walk, react, act, reciprocate to a certain situation or to a certain other character. So yeah, it was fun. I mean, we had table reads. We had beautiful actors from Dominican like Ernesto and Paula, who used to get up at 3 a.m. in the morning there and join us for table reads on a Zoom call. When we used to do our, but the thing, as Sanskruti absolutely mentioned it right, that it was not just about the actors or the director being involved in the film. Bhavesh used to come and sit for the table reads. Tanvi used to come up with a lot of designs what she had in the mind. My makeup artist Piyu Palkar used to come there, spend time, see how are they going to look. Kalyani, my costume designer, she worked hard on the film. She made it hard too, but yeah, she worked hard on the film, and it was a beautiful process. So yeah, I mean, uh, putting these characters into this was challenging, but it was fun. It was absolute fun.
the film is set in an 80s to 90s kind of a period. So whenever someone adapts such a kind of period, they usually have those vintage sepia looks as a stereotype. So this film takes it a step ahead, and we get a timeless modern look in terms of visual. So how was it, discussing that, achieving that?
Okay, I'll answer half the question, and I'll let Bhavesh do the other bit. But I wanted to shoot this film on celluloid.
Hmm.
Okay, so I wanted to shoot this film on a negative, but there were challenges where we faced with processing, or rather, processing the entire negative, because it does not happen in Bombay anymore, and we had to send it somewhere, and we could not take the risk of putting those cans through the X-rays. Ek bhi can kharab ho jata, to it's a production
Hmm.
cost, and we were walking on a very thin line. So me and Bhavesh were talking a lot. Me and Bhavesh were discussing a lot. Me and Bhavesh were like figuring out a lot. And then Bhavesh came up with a brilliant idea that we will shoot on a certain camera, of course, which he researched, which he watched testimonials about and all that. So other half, I'll let Bhavesh answer that. How did he achieve that? The beautiful tone of things, what you are saying, and again, before I turn to Bhavesh, with Bhavesh, of course, the other departments also need to be in sync, because Bhavesh will compose a frame, Bhavesh will set the tone. Uh, if there's nothing around, if there's nothing behind, if there's nothing in the foreground, if the makeup is really not looking 80s, if the costumes are not really looking 80s and 90s, just the texture of the film does not matter. But yes, how did he achieve the texture of the film? Surely, Bhavesh. Bhavesh, please. I mean,
Yeah, so he rightly said, Ankut rightly said that we had a lot of support from makeup, from costume, from art especially. Uh, Tanvi was a huge influence in the film because the sets that she put up were so period right. They were so good. With the look of the film, so if you met the real Rani, she's gone through a lot, but she's very bright. She's always very happy and bright. And for the film, we didn't want a very depressing, dark, or a sepia kind of tone. She is like a ray of sunshine every time you meet her. And that
Yeah.
is what I wanted in the film. I wanted the brightness. I didn't want a depressing, dark look. So even in the scenes, like if you see, there's a scene of Sanskriti taking Sharib to the hospital, and she tries to make a joke out of it. Tries to make the moment lighter. So, so that aspect I really didn't want to miss out on. So what we did is we still needed to get two looks, complete different looks, the modern look
Hmm.
and the 80s, 90s look. So
Hmm.
what we did is we went with something called textures on the camera that we use, the ARRI 35. They have textures. So it's an inbuilt in camera grain which we added to the scenes, and we also changed the scope as in the aspect ratio. So everything everything older is in a 240 anamorphic format, whereas everything modern is very crisp and uh, in a normal 185 aspect ratio. It's crisp. It has no texture. It's like those modern uh, high definition cameras and uh, the modern films that you see. Whereas the period was achieved through the scope and the texture.
Is this also the reason why some scenes, like the scenes shot in India,
Yeah.
are in a much warmer tone, while the scenes that are shot in hospitals or outside India are in a
Mm.
much cooler tone?
I mean, thank you so much. Someone is, actually recognized this, and it's like you have already awarded me and Bhavish with, and you showered us with trophies already. So it's like thank you so much. Somebody is so deeply dived into the visual and recognized this. Thank you
Uh,
so much. Yes, Bhavish.
yeah, it was part of the decision that we took where Indian tone would be a little warmer and the US tone would be cold. It's also to do with the temperatures in the countries. They're
Mm.
naturally like that. So it does give you a feel of being there. Basic idea is to immerse the audience into the field, right?
So, how much did Rani ji, get personally involved in the making of the film, and how was like, were there any inputs from her that helped you shape the narrative?
No, she did not get involved in the filmmaking, but she came to office one day and she sat for 4 hours and she told her entire life story. I still have the recording with me. She told her entire life story from where she started, and the beautiful part of it was she was telling this story with a bright smile on her face, and my entire office was crying like babies because we can't take this amount of inspiration anymore these days. Everything we see around is, see, we have started going to YouTube for motivation. Yeah, how what do I say more? But this lady is sitting in front of us, and she's telling a life story, and oh my goodness, her aura is something different. She just wipes out the negativity from the entire place where uh, she just takes over. I mean, and she's telling such parts of her life which are so painful with a bright smile on her face. It's like it it's unbelievable. With the process of filmmaking, uh, she was very शी वॉज वेरी इनोसेंट सेइंग कि मुझे ये सब आता नहीं है और मैं ये जानती हूँ कि आप अच्छा ही करोगे, अच्छा करते रहो, बस दैट दीज वर द टू लाइंस शी ऑलवेज सेड कि अच्छा कर रहे हो, अच्छा करते रहो, इसका अच्छा ही होगा. And she has matlab, when we went to Mauritius, she has taken care of Sanskriti like her own daughter, and she has pinned her clothes. She has helped her wipe the sweat which was there at Mauritius. And see, it's a film about her. I mean, it's something which it's her. The film is her. uh, what kind of process or how much she was involved, I won't get into it, but it's her. It's the courage is her. Her synonym, if you want to call her name, is courage. I haven't seen a more courageous person than her.
So, Apurva, your character plays a friend of Rani ji, and as a supporting character, your character actually takes it a step ahead, because sometimes we require friends to push us to do something, and then the thing automatically evolves and it inspires us and motivates us. So how was your experience bringing that to life?
I think because I have a lot of friends who do that for me, and I have had the pleasure to do that for somebody else. It was a very real thing. I mean, the story is so relatable. I mean, it is a real story, and it is so relatable that it actually this character came very suddenly to me. It was a surprise. I had a call that सुन तेरा English अच्छा है ना requirement है मैं तेरा नाम भेज रहा हूँ. That is what a friend had called and told me. And overnight, I knew that I have to do this. And I heard that the director liked my a random audition that I already recorded. And okay, I'm doing this. I'm doing this for the next week. It came to me suddenly, but it was easy to slip into it because it's so real and it's so relatable and motivating at the same time. So I think it was a great surprise that I had that year. And it was a pleasure to play her and to play a friend to somebody like Rani. It was great.
How was it like working with Sharif Hashmi?
Most of my scenes were actually with Sanskriti, but of course he was also around, and we were there at the wrap party. And he's such a pookie, and he's so sweet and so down to earth, and such a great performer. It was pleasure to a lot of his close-ups were shot when I was on set. Big emotional, important scenes, and it was a pleasure to see him work and a privilege to see. Actually, it was a privilege to work with everyone around. As Sanskriti said, everyone on set was so passionate about what we were doing, and that energy was contagious. So yeah, a lot of fun.
How was your experience, Sanskriti, with Sharif Hashmi?
Absolutely fun. So fun. See, we had like really emotionally heavy scenes, And although they came into the picture quite later, but when we started out, it was like, first we met during the readings, and he came with absolutely no baggage. And that's a very refreshing thing when an actor comes in like that, comes on board like that. He's been working with such veterans all along, and he's had so much experience in his life, and obviously he's a senior. But when he came around, it was like, my God, is such a chill guy. Like, you don't even need to have a filter. You sometimes don't even need to know him as a person. You just can start talking randomly and he'd be into it. Like, I think that is the best part about him. He's very easy to talk to. And working with him, um, just, calling myself quite fortunate, honestly, to be getting the opportunity to be casted opposite him. And he was so understanding of few things. He always had this. The one thing that which is very inspiring about him is that he kept on striving for better on sets. Like even if we had a shot, and I sort of, as an actress myself, I think I relate to that bit a little better. That I don't really believe in first takes going good. So I always kept going to Ankur, और एक करते हैं यार, और एक, and Ankur had to tell me, I am the director, believe me, it is good. And it was so much fun. But even Sharib ji also, he did the same thing. He used to go to Ankur and was like, नहीं नहीं एक और करते, we can make this better, we can make this better. So that was very relatable as a performer. He understood the importance of few things. It's very important for an actor to not deliberately overshadow the other one. If you really see in the film as a whole, Sharibji's screen time is quite lesser compared to mine, but that didn't really make a difference in him. He was very respectful of what I had to perform on set. You need to be very respectful about what the other actors are performing on set, and you need to not create a chaos only because you are not there in the scene. And as petty as it sounds, people still do that. I mean, been there, done that, all of it. But with him, he was like, he understood the gravity of every scene. He wanted to just make it perfect, and we sat down, we talked about it. We just, I think nobody could have done a better job than him. Let me put it that way. He was so incredibly understanding. He was so smooth to work with, and it was just so fun. And post Courage also, he's been extremely fun. He's like a fireball in our entire team. He just keeps on going, 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 and you know that when Sharif ji is there, he's just going to make you laugh like every 5 minutes. So yeah, he's an amazing person.
All right, so this one's for Ankur. Uh, how do you strike a balance between the truth of the tale and the some sort of creative liberty while adapting Raniji's story?
See, one thing which I've always done, the web series I did for Z5 previously was again a biography and a biopic, but to strike a balance, to strike a right chord between fiction and reality is basically diving deep into the story, knowing that person uh, very personally, and making like the previous web series I made, none of them are alive because they died in 1901. So and but with Rajrani Sharma and Pradeep, I don't know, yeah, uh, some things happen, there are there are always there aren't answers to every question. It was like that. And while I was I still don't there's a lot of blur also during of the shooting process of Courage. I mean, me and Bhavesh always have speak about this, that uh, हो गया यार, कुछ चीजें हो गई, मतलब see, I believe in blessings, uh, and to strike that right balance, one thing was certainly necessary, was that we aren't doing anything crossing our limits. You know, even if we say this is a story, love story of abuse, of this, of that, you never see abuse in the film. You will you only have a mention in the film that I was married before and he was abusive. He slapped me. You know, uh, we did not jump into actually showing someone slapping because I wouldn't have taken it in the right stride if that was in the screenplay, because I sat on the screenplay also. When the first draft came in, I also sat on the screenplay and we read after it. So basically, maintaining this thin line of not going over the board but still delivering the emotion, still delivering her journey and being true to the journey. Being true to the journey is, I think, very important in any kind of biography, biopic. You see, this happened probably a certain scene, a certain thing happened in a corridor of a hospital, maybe that you can take it into the room, but the context and creating drama for creating drama is which I don't believe in. Don't fictionalize things in their life. Stick to what has happened. Just to give it a dramatic elevation, you don't need to turn the screws so tight that it is, one, it becomes unbelievable, and two, it becomes something very hurtful to someone. So yeah, again, it was a very challenging process. Every time I was talking to Rani ma'am, saying I'm doing this, I'm saying, and she's like, Karte raho, you're doing, ab acha kar rahe ho." So yeah.
So this film is in English language. So it was your intentionally in mind that you wanted in English, or means not choosing any other languages, but preferably going for the English language?
Because one, it is an American production.
Yeah.
They always wanted this film to be in English, because English gives you a worldwide audience, and this was a subject which needed to go worldwide, and because it's organ donation, because it's importance of organ donation, and the subject is universal. The thing happening in the film, or the situation coming in the film, is very universal. It's very global. It happens. I mean. Uh, on this call we are seven people, probably kahin na kahin there's somewhere something in our families, friends ke friends families, there's something, what, there's someone who died of kidney failure, and I think organ donation is one thing which needs to be spoken out loud, and that's the reason we did it in English, because we wanted it to reach audiences globally. We wanted the audiences to feel the film globally. Of course, I am a cinema student. Cinema is not bound with language.
Yeah.
Cinema is a language by itself, but uh, making this film in a language which is understood globally also makes it emotion heavy. It also makes it easy to deliver a certain emotion. I mean, I've grown up watching Czech films, French films, Spanish films, Italian films, Russian films, Japanese films, Korean films. Because I'm a film student, so I had to write thesis on world cinema. But making this film in English was 100% a thing where we wanted to reach globally. And again, it's a story about an Indian couple who went to the US. If and their struggle over there. So it also became very easy to do this, because as you watch the film, their entire struggle in the US also, uh, because of the language, made it easy to be put across.
So what about the casting? Like if you were like you had a mind, ki, okay, I want to do this film in English. So how was the casting process?
The casting was very simple. If you watch the film, we have not used accents. We have used or we speak English as we speak on this call. As we have spoken English, as a person speaks English in his daily thing. I did not tell even Paula and Ernesto to get into an American accent because we do find Spanish doctors in the US. US is a country of immigrants, so you find Spanish this. So we always treated Paula as an Anglo-Indian friend of Rani. So we told her to maintain the accent she usually speaks English in. When you speak to Paula, she speaks the way she has spoken in the film. With the casting process, it was a very thing with funny thing with Sanskriti's casting. So Sanskriti has done Marathi films. I have done Marathi films, but we never did Marathi films together. And I knew Sanskriti as an actor, and Sushant told me that you have to screen test Sanskriti for the role. And I sent her an audition script. She came to office. I gave her a download about the character. I still have that audition in my phone. And she got ready. She dressed up in a sari, and uh, on action and 7 seconds in the audition, I'd found Marani. Uh, it was very easy finding a Rani, probably. It hardly happens in your life that you get a lead of the film so easily. But I practically say 7 seconds in the film and I had my Rani. I cancelled other two tests which were scheduled for the day, and uh, yeah, I mean, then my boss always used to say that if an actor looks a character, 50% of your war is won. And then uh, okay, now these are very funny things which I'm going to tell you. Uh, we planned how Rani and Pradeep's wedding will look in the film. Yeah, we did not have photographs. We did not have any visual reference. We did not have any, we had not got anything from Rajdhani, so ma'am, that those photos which you see in the end montage of the film came when I was shooting in the last schedule of Mauritius. I had not seen. I don't know why. I really don't know why. I told my costume designer to design Sanskriti and Sharip in a certain way, which exactly look like the photo in the film. We had not got photos before we shot the wedding. We had not got any reference. The melody doers show, we did not have any reference. It looks exactly the same of what it happened in 1989. I mean, some things are unbelievable. They happened. Even with the casting, I call up. My coordinator calls up Apurva and says, "Ki you are shooting next week," and she sends me an audition, and I was like, "Oh my god, I found my Jayanti." So it was like I did not cast. The cast came to play these characters. They were it was a sign. I'm telling you. I mean, believe it or not, it's not spooky, but it is the way it is. I mean, these actors. Oh my God, Sharib! I never thought Sharib would accept the role. And the moment I spoke to Sharib and he said, "Bye bye, bye, मैं कर रहा है, I'm doing it." And and day one he was there. Day one he was Pradeep for me already. The mustaches, the look. Oh my, I have goosebumps. It was brilliant. We shot a test photo, a test shoot with not a scene shoot, a test shoot with Sanskriti and Sharib, and it was like, okay, I'm not hallucinating now. These are real characters who are going to play Rani and Pradeep. So they were at it. All of them just fell in place. It was brilliant. So the process मैं सच्ची बताऊं यार godsend थे. They were there.
It's got technical aspects as well, rocked, even when we come to Sharipji's character. He has three hairstyles, two or three hairstyles throughout the timelines. and he has a mustache in one, he doesn't have a mustache in one. So that coordination must have been very crucial, right? Or did you shoot it chronologically and then
No,
shuffle the?
no, we never shoot it linearly. Linearly. I mean, you cannot shoot a film linearly. Brother, if you have that kind of money, please give me. Even I'll be, more than happy to shoot a film linearly. But yeah, I mean, that's where the direction department kicks in. No, as I said, everyone in the crew was so passionate to tell the story. Uh, I mean, I can take you through my raw footage also. We hardly have takes. Bhavesh always, because I don't shoot coverage. I do my paper edits and I shoot. So me and Bhavesh have always had this that he's always like, bro, we'll have enough footage to get to the film. No, and I'm saying yeah, we are having. He does not sleep well when we're shooting together because he's always in the anxiety that we
Please
don't have.
take me through your raw footage.
Please, I will. I will.
Please.
So, Bhavesh is always in anxiety when he's shooting with me because he's always in this anxiety that, do we really have the kind of footage to make a feature film out of this? So, but technical aspects like makeup, if even the scar, if you observe the scar where he's, when he goes into dialysis, and my first assistant Nihal, Pranjal, Hia, Ananya, Mohit, who was looking after art, Tejas, my associate, who also helped me co-write and prepare a few things on the script. Uh, I don't know, man. Those guys were driven. But even I did not even need to tell them. When Sharif was there, he was there with his mustache and a scar. He was there with his hairstyle. And I will also give all the credits to PU here, our HMU, because she was at it. I mean, when I met PU for the first time, I told her I want people to look like there's no makeup, even if there's makeup. I mean, that's a very confusing brief, no? I mean, who does that to a person? That I want makeup, but you still don't, it does not need to look like makeup. But PU also did a great job. So, as you said, technical aspects of it, I don't know if you're going to come down to music and you have questions about music because we have spent real time on music and the edits. I was editing the film for 3.5 months. That is the kind of luxury Sushant gave me, and I was doing music for 4 months. So yeah, but I will come to music and the edits also. But technically, we were there. These guys with my team, the production team, they were there, and it's fabulous.
So as you
So
were saying about the music, so let's start with that. Yeah, we have a question for that. So how did the
Okay,
music song came in place, and what was its journey behind it?
uh, the song was never in the script.
Okay.
Yeah, uh, there's no song which was supposed to be in the script. Uh, we edited the film, and somewhere around 3:30 in the morning, my editor, who's like my friend for like now what dinosaur years now. I mean, we have done college together and stuff. So he's a very silent, slow motion kind of a guy. So 3:30 in the morning, he says, "I think we need a song here." And I was like, "Okay, even I think, but how are you going to use it?" At 3:30 in the morning, I call Piyush, the music director, again, who's more of a younger brother than a colleague, and he says, "Okay, we'll do it." So if you now if when you have watched the film, if you observe, there are only three instruments used in this film. One is the violins, one is the grand piano, and one is the English flute. There is no rhythm section to the film. I did not want rhythm section to the film because it is strings which we always connected to heart. It is flute which we always connected to breathing, which is again heart. And it's the grand piano. It's again the drones and this which we connect to either thinking or either the kind of the way the blood flows in our body. So it's just three instruments in the film. The entire BGM has been designed on three. instruments. And that song has been written by Piyush, uh, sitting next to me when we were traveling from Pune to Mumbai. So by the time we reached Mumbai, I already had the lyrics of the song. He had sent it to Sai. Sai Piyush is the music duo. He had sent it to Sai. They had discussed the tune, and by the time I got down from the car in Mumbai, he was like, "Sit, sit, sit. I want to make you listen to something." And I heard the scratch there, and it was there. So even with music, but yes, the music in outs. Where does the music need to come in? It took us real time because I did not want to mess it up. I did not want to mess that entire thing with over music or under music. I never wanted to make this film feel like it's something deliberately made for a parallel cinema movement. No. When अगर दिल के तार बजते हैं तो दिल के तार बजने चाहिए. It is that simple. Uh, so with music also, it was a challenge where to come in and where not to come in. So yeah, that's with the music. 3.5 months of
So, Sanskriti, I want to know about the ballerina sequence. Was it always like, since I think you have a background in dance, so did that help? Or was there any special kind of training you had to undergo to learn that sequence?
Well, I did. Ankur asked me to not dance very perfectly in that sequence. He was like, "You're supposed to look like a completely, someone who's not had training in ballet and, look like a rookie per se because she's in college at that time." So, I'm going to be honest. It gets really difficult. I don't know how you do that, but when you are trained in dance, when you're really well versed with the rhythm of it and the grace part of it, it becomes really tough to dial it down and not dance well. You know, I mean, this might make me sound a little more flaunty in a way, or now that I'm just saying that how good of a dancer I am. But no, it was really sort of tough. And but the thing is, when he told me about that, I didn't really think of anything anymore. We just rehearsed the movements, we did the choreographies, we shot it in a way where everything was captured in quite a jiffy. Like my part took a little less time, obviously, because I'm not seen dancing so much. Let me tell you, I was very excited about the makeup part of it. I was in love with the makeup, and I had a new fascination about it. So I was very happy to be in the makeup. And as a dancer, also, you tend to have this admiration for ballet in some years of your life, like, because it looks so aesthetically beautiful. I got to do it, but I'm not obviously trained in ballet, and it was difficult. It took a little while. Plus, practically the socks on stage were not helping at all. Like they was quite slippery. But the overall sequence was quite fun. Even the choreographer, we discussed with Ankur a lot the things that he wanted. The little looks, like even in the if you really spot it, there's a shot towards the end of the ballet where she climbs upon this level, and then she looks at Jayu, very, like, a little glance towards him as if, is he watching? So these, I think, more than the ballet part of it, or the cinematic part of it, I think these little moments in that whole sequence, even when she's peeping from the wing and looking at him if he's watching. So I think that makes it quite cute and beautiful in a way, but yeah, coming back to your question, it was. I'm going to say it was not that tough that I'm making it sound so much, but it was a little bit.
okay with the
So
ballet. No, if you watch the ballet like in a continuous thing which you have, that entire ballet sequence is the film. That's the story of the film. Rani is the eagle and Jayu is the seagull. So that's like it's setting up that entire story. It's like it's like giving a prologue,
Hmm.
uh, elogue to the entire thing. Yeah. So
Yeah, I
so yeah,
myself have gone through that sequence thrice because it was telling a story, but then I was like, okay, I need to understand it again. So that is something. if people actually do pay attention to, it helps in understanding the whole
Yeah.
narrative of the film.
And
Also,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so my question is to the actors. Like, if you're doing a non-fiction character, so you can do an improvisation with the characters and all. Like, these people were real, you have met them. So you guys did any improvisation with these characters?
Yeah, I think personally, Ankur had given us the liberty to be ourselves and sort of get a whole new perspective as an individual to the character, to Rani Sharma. So it was not that we were bound to anything while performing it. Obviously, we couldn't. We had to be cautious about how we were reacting and the intensity of the reactions, considering the period of where the film is located and seen and shown. But otherwise, I love directors who can tell you what the emotion is and not how you perform it. Because my crying and my happiness and my sadness are going to be completely different from what you are going to show, right? So it's going to be really individualistic, and it's going to be unique in the sense of I am performing it. So it's going to be Sanskriti or Apurva performing it. So Apurva's sadness is going to differ from Sanskriti, and that is the most beautiful part of it. So he never meddled in that. He just told us, he used to come, he used to brief us about it. This is, how it goes. He used to give us a backstory. Remember, this has happened since, we were shooting non-linear and the periods kept changing. So I had to jump from a body language to the other, from being a peppy little girl to a middle-aged woman and to a completely old woman. So he used to come and give us a brief that, this has happened. So understand the intensity of what you might, this particular line, the way you'd say it, and it doesn't have to be overboard. Sometimes I feel, I'm not going to generalize, but just because I have experiences, people want the actors to do go overboard with certain emotions. When you have like a completely emotionally heavy scene, they want you to cry so much, like your eyes are red and everything. With here, it did not matter. It's just that there are little elements to it. When you start acting and when you're into it, your voice shivers in a certain way. That doesn't mean you're not feeling emotion. If you're not crying, you're not bawling your eyes out on screen, doesn't mean that you're devoid of emotion. You're not feeling it as intensely as the character should, right? Because the camera is so up close. It's like a 50 picture that we're going to look at. You're like every nerve on your face says something on that sort of a canvas, right? So I think Ankur and of course Bhavesh sir, like they really understood that. They understood the craft of it. Like craft is a really big word, but I'd like to use it here. They understood the craft of it, and that was extremely refreshing because then I did not have to think about how I looked and am I sweaty or is my liner off. Thing I generally also don't think about these things. But as an actor, when you come on board, your director and you need to be on a very on like a similar page, or even if you have disagreements, you need to find a golden medium, and that quite happened. Like he did never restricted me. There was this on the first day of shoot. I think he regrets that. Ankur, I think, regrets that. But on the first day of shoot, as a property. So when I come to Jayu's house and there's a dog that is there and she's scared of the dog, that was the first scene that we shot. That was the first scene of Courage. Um, I mean, the nerves were getting the best of me, and obviously, they gave me a property as a handkerchief to hold in that scene. And I never let go of that handkerchief the entire time, and that became one of my characteristics as Rani. And he was like, he used to joke about it that please hand her the handkerchief, otherwise, she's not going to be able to act. So it got to a point that, but the fact that he could respect that I was finding some solace, I was finding something to latch onto in that little piece of handkerchief as a character. He did not completely dismiss it. I think that's a beautiful part of it, and that's why we could react, we could work the way we did, because we had the freedom to. We had it. Obviously, as actors, if ever we went on board, he used to come and tell us that, you know, this is the justification behind this, that this is how you're not supposed to react, even if you're feeling it. You might, Sanskriti might react, Rani might not. So it's a constant to and fro about him discussing what Rani might do, because I think he understood Rani more beautifully than I did. I think I understood Rani after I did Rani. I'd like to put it that way. But as actors, this freedom is extremely essential, and it's very crucial to be able to perform the way you want it to, so you can shape the character like you have it in mind. So yeah, that was a
Yeah,
long
Poover, your
answer.
thought? No, it
Every
was fine. It was very good answer.
on every set with Ankur sir is again, as she said, there's a lot of freedom. He would explain what he expects out of you, and then he's just like, go, do. And then you can just like really go at it. Having done more than one projects with him quite recently, it's just like, and then you have a lot of freedom. We were playing real characters, but again, coming back to the same point, the feelings were very universal. Feeling of friendship, love, all those feelings are very universal. So it's not something very exclusive. Maybe it's not, we were not telling a story of an Olympic award winner or someone in the military, because it was so real. The characters were so grounded. If I feel like I need to hold my friend's hand, I could. I didn't have to think 10,000 times. At the same time, if we like actors, I as an actor have that habit that I'll do something that is something extra that was not exactly directed or told by my director, and I'll just look at the director once, that is this okay? Am I crossing a boundary? Is this okay? And then, but over here, we were given that freedom. I didn't have to be too scared. Like, okay, he's not screaming in the mic. And at the same time, the characters were so real that yeah, if I feel like holding my friend's hand, I'm holding her hand. If I feel like handing her a handkerchief or giving her water, I could do that. So that kind of both like the script and the story and the direction team were a big help to all of this.
Bhavesh ji, in the
Yeah.
production, were there any last minute location changes or design improvisation you have had to make to, make sure the production runs on time?
No, although there was a very tight schedule, but we had planned it out so well. Every shot, we just knew every shot in every location that we are going to take. The kind of attention to detail Ankur and his team had given, and of course me and my team had given. So we knew exactly when what is going to happen, and that was very crucial because we were changing sets of lenses. So there were days when we had anamorphic lenses, then there were days when we had spherical lenses on the set, and every piece of equipment that we ordered had to be precise, had to be according to schedule. So it was very, very well planned, and of course the passion of everyone. So everyone worked extra hard to make sure that nothing goes off schedule.
I mean,
So,
you really need to be a fortunate director to have your DOP into a 40-day pre-production process entirely throughout, holding your hand and saying कि bro चल ना और एक technical रेकी कर रहे हैं और एक बार जाके आते हैं just तू और मैं जाके आते हैं ना. So you really need to be fortunate because today what is happening is this belief in one project is probably diminishing, and a lot of factors to it, though. But yeah, he was there. He was there in office every day, like I was there in office at 9. Probably days doing only his work. Probably days where we have spent till the last can of beer in a bar. So we have done that.
I'd like to mention the support from the production, from
Yeah.
Sushant sir. He gave me everything that I asked for. I asked for something like the Airy 35 was a very new camera at that time. No one had tried and tested it. He provided every light that I asked for. Every piece of equipment that we asked for was properly provided, and like almost no questions asked. So that's a huge support for anybody to be able to work to the best of our abilities.
was there a time when you guys had to discuss about the budgets, or did it run like smoothly throughout the production?
Till date, till date, I
Hmm.
don't know what money has been spent on courage. Till date, I don't know. Sushant never said a no because he really believed in one thing. These guys are not going to ask for things which they don't need.
Right.
And I really till date don't know the budget sheet of Courage. I mean, how did he manage? Where did he get all that from? That man is a magician. I have been working with him for more than 3.5 years now, and since 2014 we have been connected and stuff. But till date I still don't know what budget uh, Courage is made in.
All right. Now my question is to Rahul. Rahul, what was your first view of the film, and how was the conversation of selecting Courage as a part of uh, Reborn's lineup?
So the film we had it around in the month of January. We got the film. That from that time we were after Courage, and our programming team watched the film. So वहाँ पे scene ये था. Our both the team was there. Our India team was there, and as well as our London team was also there. So they were like, okay, इसको पहले लंदन पे स्क्रीन करते हैं, पहले इंडिया में स्क्रीन करते हैं. So this was continuously going on. So around a month earlier, we just had a word with Sushant कि okay, इसको अब हम लंदन में ही स्क्रीन कर रहे हैं because when I saw the film, मैंने भी देखी इसको, so I saw the texture and everything and how they planned it. And I think Ankur is from theater background also, right, Ankur? You have done some theaters or something like this, which was represented in the film in the
I've done
first shot.
extensive theater. I've done extensive theater.
Yeah. So that was represented in that film. In the first scene only, you can just see the opening scene, and while the walking with 5 to 10 minutes scene, you can understand. Okay. So while seeing the texture and everything, we decided, okay, let's go for the first London screening with all the team. We had it, and then it was we were planning this to be scheduled in the month of August. Again, we had a date issues and everything. Then we shifted to September, and that's how London came on board with us with all. And when the London programming team and cinema theaters all saw the film, and they were very much impressed. Means the style of the film, the pattern, how they edited, and the jump cuts was there. Means it was holding everyone ki okay, just go through what is going on. It was not like okay यार ये लेंदी हो गया ये प्रोसेस तो ठीक है यार तरीके से हमें समझ में आता है but the message was clear, the acting were really awesome, you guys did it very well, and the direction was fabulous.
All right. Since I'll wrap it up now. The film has been great. I saw it at 5 in the morning, and I am very much used to mailing people randomly about things. So I mailed my friends about this film. Okay, you have to watch this because for me it was a personal connection because the arc of Rani ji that has been shown. That she is afraid of what might happen, but then also there is this one scene where she does this mental conversation that okay, this is the only thing that matters to me now. And she buckles up. She forgets every family issue and who people who are supporting, who are not supporting. She's like, okay, I need to get into this. I've experienced that in like my personal life, and I've seen how that kind of resilience comes when women are loved. They are made to feel loved. So that was a moment when I was like, okay, you guys, whenever this movie comes up, you guys are coming to Cinepolis, and you guys are checking it out. So now that it's in Garden Cinema, London will get to experience it beforehand, and I'm like all the best to you guys for it. It was a great session hosting you, and all the best. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It was
Thank you guys.
amazing.
Thank you
Thank you,
very
Janan.
much
Thank you, Rahul.
for this film. Okay.
I hope I could watch it in London, but some next time I'll watch it in Cinepolis now. Next time.
Mm.
See you. Thank you.
Yes.
Bye bye.